Hey guys, how's it going? As you probably guessed from the title, I've got another pedal mod for you today, this time for the Boss OD-3. Gotta be honest, don't really care much for this pedal. I got it as payment for fixing somebody's guitar, and I mean, it was a nice gesture, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't mind taking stuff like that, whether or not I like it. It's cool. I can always trade it or get rid of it or whatever. But this time I've decided to try modding it. Now, there's not really a whole lot of mods for this. And it's funny because when you look online for modifications, 90% of the time people that have these are telling other people that want to mod them that these are the best dirt pedal that Boss makes, that they don't need to be modded and blah 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 blah. Now, there are common complaints about it, and the most common one I think is that it's extremely bassy. Now, and the tone control doesn't really take that away. It's a little difficult to explain, but I will be doing before and after clips. And the mod that I've chosen is going to be a Wampler mod. This isn't like an official thing. This is something that he posted on a forum, and they're more like suggestions. So I'm going to try that and see how it turns out. If you want to look for yourself for where he posted it, I will put the link in the description so you can see where I found what I need to do this. You'll have to excuse the dryer going on in the background, but anyway, let's open this up and I'll show you what you need to look for if you want to do this mod. Alright, so if you want to do this mod, here is what you're going to need. Firstly, you're going to need a 10K trim pot. You're going to need a 22K ohm resistor, a 33 nanofarad capacitor, also can be said as 0.033 microfarad, either or, it's the same value, a 1 microfarad capacitor, preferably non-polarized, a 100 nanofarad capacitor, also can be said as a 0.1 microfarad, a 220 nanofarad capacitor, also 0.22 microfarad, same value. You're going to need a 3mm LED and a 1N4148 diode. I won't actually be using that particular LED in the circuit. I'm going to swap the indicator LED for that one and use the indicator in the circuit. So you can do that as well, or you can just get a separate LED for the circuit. It doesn't really matter. And lastly, you're going to need a 1N34A diode. And a fairly sparse list of parts, but not too bad. So next I'm going to open it up and show you where you need to put all these. Alright, so here's what the OD-3 looks like on the inside. So here are the parts you need to look for and the things you need to do to perform this modification. So starting out, we're going to go to R11, which is right here. This tiny little resistor. This is what we're going to replace with the 10K trim pot. And in order to do that, you need to use the middle lug of the trim pot on one side and either one of the outside lugs on the other side. So that is supposed to give us a treble set. So once you perform the mod, you can set the trim pot to whatever treble frequency you like. I'm guessing anyway. So that's the first part. Next you need to look for R15, which is below it, right there. That you're going to swap out for the 22K resistor. Okay, next thing you're going to look for is C16 right here. This one is going to be changed out for a 33 nanofarad capacitor. After that, you need to look for C13, which is right here. C13 you're going to swap out for a 1 microfarad capacitor. Next up, you need to look for C22, which is this one right here. And you're going to swap that one out for the 100 nanofarad capacitor. Next, you need to look for C18, which is really tricky to find, but it's this electrolytic right here. You can't really see the label very well from this angle, but it's right there, C18, that's this one here. That you're going to swap out for a 220 nanofarad capacitor. Next thing you need to look for is D7, right here. You'll be swapping that for an LED and a 1N4148 in series. So what that means is the well, let's say the stripe here is on the left. You put the LED negative this way, so the negative end goes in here, the end with the stripe. The positive end connects to the negative end of the LED, and the positive end of the LED goes in here. So it's like a chain. Chain them both together in D7. After that, you need to go to D11, which is this little one right here, and swap that out for the 1N34A. And the last thing you need to do is find C8, which is right here, and remove that entirely. Don't replace it, don't jump it, just remove it. And if you're like me, you'll be swapping the LED out for a color of your choice. So those are the parts you need to find and replace, and in the ways that I mentioned. So I'm going to do that, and I will be back when I'm finished. Alright guys, so that was the quote-unquote Wampler mod for the Boss OD-3. Let me know what you think in the comments. I definitely think it was an improvement in my opinion, but the differences are somewhat subtle. It's still pretty bassy, and even with the treble trimmer inside, I had that cranked and I had the tone cranked to get probably my favorite sounds out of it. But you can get a little more clarity that way than you could with the original circuit. The other thing that I've noticed is that holy fuck, is it ever louder than it was. Like, a lot louder. So be prepared for that if you do this mod. Other than that, I mean, it sounds fairly decent. Again, it's still not one of my favorite pedals, even modified. The modification did improve it, in my opinion, but it's still not really my thing. Maybe it's yours, I don't know. Again, let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear what you think. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.